Before Will Wade has his introductory press conference on Tuesday, Monday afternoon, Wes Moore had to show everybody whose house Reynolds Coliseum is.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Our Tuesday sponsor is Nissan. This episode is brought to you by the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Stay with us, for later on the episode, we'll announce the Nissan Armada Team of the Week. Happy Tuesday to all. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Kenton, we all know that the Will Wade press conference will be today, Tuesday, in Reynolds Coliseum. It will be at 1 p.m. It's not open to the public, but you can stream this publicly. It'll be on ESPN Plus, or if you go on over to gopack.com, they will have the live stream up on there. We're going to talk more about Will Wade in just a second here, because on Monday, Wes Moore had one last game this season in Reynolds Coliseum. It was the round of 32 against Michigan State, and they flat out dominated. We've had a couple of these games this year where you see that if they're clicking on all cylinders and all things kind of go the right way, they get the right bounces, they can obliterate any team in the country, whether it's Michigan State or whether it's UConn. Yes, that UConn. This NC State women's basketball team, when they are clicking, they are unbelievably good. And we saw that Monday afternoon with a 34-point win over the Michigan State Spartans.
If only there was a certain show that told you all Harvard's probably a tougher matchup for NC State than Michigan State will be. Oh, they might have called those guys madmen, but here we are. This was an absolute obliteration. And I can't remember which one of Michigan State's players said it, but one of their guards said, NC State is not going to be ready for the type of defensive pressure we apply. They haven't seen anything like us all year. I think they have. I don't know. By the way, for those of you who don't understand, for context here, okay, I don't think people will truly get that NC State definitely took their foot off the gas here. Like, this game was absolutely out of hand after the first quarter. It was 27-9. 27-9 coming out of the first quarter there. So, again, this was a domination that if you knew women's basketball well enough, you saw coming. But this was a game where, again, NC State did what they were supposed to do. Michigan State, I knew that, yes, they had the better front court, but their guards just so slow. They're not fleet-footed enough. They just could not, defensively, their whole, pressure thing was just that they brought their wings up on everything and they switched everything. That's literally it. That's the whole pressure. And it's at some point in time, you've got to stay in front of the person that's handling the ball. And how'd that go? Right? We're going to go in the zone and we're going to pressure you. Well, that works against teams that don't have good passers and good shooters. Unfortunately, we have this young lady named Sanaya Rivers who kicks it out to this other wonderful young lady, affectionately known as Big Zaya James. And, that whole defensive pressure thing didn't work out. Didn't work in zone, didn't work in man. You talk about defensive pressure, Wes Moore bought some Wolfpack pressure. And that Wolfpack pressure was something that the Spartans couldn't stand.
You got to wonder if some of those comments from Michigan State was almost like projecting in a sense. Like they were worried about the exact things that they wouldn't be able to stop themselves. And I want to give Kenton his credit here. This game played out exactly how he said it would if it came to this about a week ago. We were talking about it when the bracket first came out. Perhaps Harvard would have given us a better game because Michigan State did not. And I say that respectfully, but this was a flat-out domination. It certainly helps when NC State pours in 15 three-pointers, shooting 50% on the day, 15 of 30 from three-point land. You can do that against Michigan State. It's going to be a win every time. If you do that against anyone in the country, I'm going to like your chances. If you give us 15 against South Carolina, I love NC State's chances to win that game. Now, of course, this is not something you can rely on every game because 15 threes is an absurd amount, but that type of day, that type of performance, we saw it when we played Duke. We saw it when we played Notre Dame. When everything clicks and you get Isaiah James being extremely efficient in her shooting, she was 10 of 17 on Monday, 6 of 11 from deep. That's crushing it. And again, that's probably with taking some of the foot off of the gas pedal, believe it or not. To put on that type of performance in March Madness, not even in the opening round, but the second round when you're playing a P4 opponent, flat out domination. Zoe Brooks, think about this. Zoe Brooks only had 1 point, really didn't do much the entire day, and we still put up 83 points and won by 34. This team's terrifying right now. And again, it's only going to get tougher from here. Next game, they got to play LSU. LSU beat us early in the season, but Wes Moore looking for a little rematch, little revenge. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the Tigers. I'll tell you that much.
The biggest adjustment that I've seen over this tournament so far is making Sanaya Rivers the primary ball handler for a majority of our sets.
It's worked out.
She has been setting the table, and the pack has been eating good. The pack has been feasting. She has been feeding generations with her passing. Just as a reference here for a quick second, when you look at Sanaya Rivers and what she's done in these past 2 games, okay, on the season overall, she's averaging 3.6 assists per game, right? When you look at just these last 2 games, you're looking at 11 assists and 2 assists. So she's about where she would normally be. But this last game, some of the cross-court passing that I was seeing from her. Again, Michigan State's whole thing is the pressure from their zone, which, again, it's a 1-3-1 with their wings like playing up. That's pretty much it. But the pressure from that zone was very easily alleviated because Sanaya Rivers was saying, you know what? I think I can make that pass. And more often than not, that pass was spectacular, and she made it. Through both games in the tournament so far, 1 turnover. 1 in total. She did a hell of a job distributing the day and coming just shy of a triple-double. I mean, what more can you ask for out of Sanaya Rivers? And mind you, she always gets that assignment. 2 rebounds shy of a double-double, or triple-double rather, with 17 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. She always takes the assignment of the toughest guard or wing scorer. She always takes that assignment. Man, what a game.
I want to finish some of this conversation. Madison Hayes, Sanaya Rivers, and Isaiah James are obviously seniors, played their last game ever in Reynolds Coliseum. And, I mean, what a way to go out, first of all. But post-game, them doing their victory laps, and Sanaya Rivers is in the crowd with the band, high-fiving. Madison Hayes is hugging children that she has no idea who they are, but she's taking pictures with them. It was just a spectacle. And then you get Isaiah James when she comes off of her post-game interview. You could see the moment that hit her when she was coming off the court, and she broke down into tears. What an emotional final game for this trio. There's a staggering stat that we have for Whole Lot of Nothing, Whole Lot of Something. We'll tell you in just a couple minutes, but this trio will forever be synonymous with NC State women's basketball. You want to talk about Wes Moore building a program. These 3 types of players have been pillars of all the success you've seen in the last, handful of years. These 3, in conjunction with a lot of the other players, earlier, like the Reina Perez players and Elisa Cunane, those types of players have changed this program, and they'll be all-time greats. If it hasn't been already made, I'd like to go ahead and present the case. They need their numbers up in the rafters. They have been that spectacular for NC State, remembered forever. But again, there's still more work to do. They move on to the Sweet 16 now. They'll play out in Spokane here at the end of this coming week. They'll face off with the LSU Tigers, a rematch from earlier in the season. They can right some of those wrongs, be a little bit tougher in the front court. You saw it. We all saw it. We all know this from what we've seen this year. They can play with absolutely anyone.
I want 4 more. Can you give me 4 more, Wes? Can you give me 4 more this year? We need it. We need 4 more for you to finally be up there with the pantheon of championship coaches in terms of natties. You've already won more ACC championships than most folks can even remember. I want Wes Moore on that pantheon. I want to see Sanaya Rivers and Isaiah James and Madison Hayes in this group. I want to see this group be up there and, their names forever etched in history as the brides, not the bridesmaids. But we'll see.
As mentioned, they will move on to play the 3 seed in this region, the LSU Tigers. This next game will be on Friday, so a little bit of a short week of anticipation. More work to be done, more business to be stood on. Can't wait to continue to follow their journey here in March Madness. Coming up next, as we've already mentioned, the introductory press conference for head coach Will Wade will be on Tuesday, 1 p.m. We're going to tell you what to expect from that and what also to expect in the early days, because he is now boots on the ground in Raleigh. More on this after a quick word from our sponsors. Our first Tuesday sponsor is Nissan. The Nissan Armada Team of the Week is brought to you by our friends at Nissan and the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Each week, our Locked On College Basketball experts are picking one team that stands apart. From the top-seeded stars to the unexpected upsets, these guys showcase the strength and sheer power to push their team forward. This week's Armada and clear-cut Team of the Week are the Arkansas Razorbacks. Despite losing their first 5 SEC games of the season, Coach Cal's Hogs, fought their way through their most rugged conference in college basketball, not only to make the NCAA tournament, but also to knock off champions and Hall of Fame coaches en route to the Sweet 16. They accomplished all of this without their second leading scorer, Boogie Flan, for most of SEC play, and without leading scorer and rebounder, Adu Thero. When it comes to the Nissan Armada, they say go forth and conquer. And that's exactly what the Arkansas Razorbacks have been up to. It's clear that our Team of the Week is out here ready to conquer the road ahead with confidence, just like you can in the all-new Nissan Armada or any of Nissan's outstanding vehicles. Take the Nissan Armada, Rogue, or Pathfinder and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Middle portion of our Tuesday show, Will Wade time. Of course, we've been talking about Will Wade probably like every day now for a week and a half. Not going to change it all today. For today, on Tuesday, is his introductory press conference as the head coach for NC State men's basketball. I'm still pinching myself because, yes, it is a real sentence. He's boots on the ground now. He arrived in Raleigh on Monday. All the pictures and the videos, him getting off the plane and hugging Boo Corrigan. I saw he had one of his special assistants with him from McNeese, who I hear is also very likely to join him in Raleigh, videoing them in the cars that go underneath Wade Avenue on their way over to the Dale Center. It's so surreal at this point. You're seeing him in the Wolfpack quarter zip, and he's wearing red. He's throwing up Go Pack and getting Wolfpack Nation fired up. He's here now. He's ready to roll. He's going to absolutely obliterate this press conference. I've already told you that, but I've been watching some of his former press conferences. He comes in and he wins the room. He's going to do it for Wolfpack fans. He's going to do it on the recruiting trail here soon enough. He's going to win there. He's going to win on the court. He is going to make this program a winner. And before we go any further, I saw about a 2-minute clip that John Rothstein tweeted out on Monday evening. If you have not seen it, you're about to run through a brick wall. So advise yourself, maybe go outside and watch this before you do. Keep all brick walls on standby. Here we go.
You're an NC State fan. There has been a more exciting time to be a fan of the Wolfpack. And I know that this program went to the Final Four last year, and I know that might sound a little crazy, but I have covered Will Wade for a long time. I have known Will Wade for a long time. It's a what you see is what you get type deal, but this is somebody who will not flinch regardless of who's in front of him. This is somebody that is going into the triangle and is going to roll up his sleeves and completely try to distort everything that's going on at North Carolina and Duke. I would expect, if you're an NC State fan, to see major commitments out of the transfer portal. I would expect, if you're an NC State fan, to see the roster flipped in a way that will put the Wolfpack in the top 4 or 5 of the ACC next season. Remember, Will Wade was an assistant under Shaka Smart on the 2011 Final Four team at VCU, went to Chattanooga, went back to VCU as a head coach, is the only head coach at VCU to win an NCAA tournament game since Shaka Smart left, then went to LSU, got in a lot of trouble at LSU, but won the SEC at LSU, and then went to McNeese and, won 58 games in 2 years and won an NCAA tournament game for the first time in school history. Is Will Wade for everybody? No. Does he make enemies in the business? Absolutely. He'll step on somebody's throat to get a player. I know that. But if you're looking for somebody to distort the triangle, if you're looking at somebody who wants to get in the ring with John Shire and Hubert Davis, this is the guy that's going to do it. There has never been a more exciting time than right now for what's ahead in the next month or two for NC State fans. I know this program went to the Final Four a year ago, but there is going to be a major, major flip in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right. So everyone that just heard that, if you need to take a couple deep breaths, go ahead. Now is your time. Kenton, I'm bricked up. I'm ready to go. I'm going to bust down every single brick wall I see on Tuesday. Get up or get out of the way, because Will Wade is the head basketball coach at NC State University.
To quote Christopher Williams, if I'm dreaming, then just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till this dream is complete. I'm over the moon. I'm elated about this. I'm geeked up about this. And by the way, you wanted to bring up that clip, and I wish we had a different clip of Herm Edwards talking about how everybody liked the Eagles when they were losing, when they were playing teams tough. Everybody liked NC State when the Final Four run was a one-off, and all the DJ Birds, the big fella, the big fella with the twinkle toes, it was all right when we were a fringe tournament team that just kind of fell into an ACC championship and Final Four run. But Grayson, you talked about Will Wade being in the red and white. That is incorrect. Do you know what color the jacket Will Wade was wearing? The base color of the jacket Will Wade was wearing today was black and red. What have I always said I want for NC State University? The black hat. I don't want us to be the good guys. I don't want us to be the guys people like. I don't want us to be the guys that, that NC State, they're a physical football team. They can surprise you. They're good guys. I want people to talk about us how folks talk about the Lions now. If you've heard any fans from the NFC North, it is the whiniest, most complaint. Oh, they're terrible people. Oh, they're so mean to us. Oh, their admin is so unserious. Oh, that's how I want people to think about NC State. We're not there yet. We're getting there. Because I've seen some pivots from certain accounts, from certain schools, going from, buckle up. This is entering the chat, to Will Wade's only going to be there for a year. Don't worry, friends. Don't worry. I'm ready for the coach. If we could boil down tomorrow's press conference, make it into a liquid concentrated form, I would want it injected into my veins via an IV. You understand? Because again, I'm one of those people that, when you look on Reddit and who's that person making a 3-page long severance theory? That's me. I'm that guy. And Will Wade wearing black shows me he knows about the black hat. He wants to be the black hat. He doesn't want to be the guy Rothstein just said it. He makes no friends in the business. And damn it, I don't want my coach to have no friends. I don't want my coach to be the guy that everybody wants to invite over for dinner, makes his wife cookies and all that. I don't want that. I want my head coach to be a guy that everybody's like, oh, here comes this guy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I want a coach that when he's around, people are hiding the valuables. Hey, this guy's coming to ransack. That's what he always does. He's coming to destroy us. He doesn't want to beat us. He wants to break us. He wants to make us a shell of what we thought we were coming into this game. That's the type of coach I want, and that's the type of guy Will Wade is. Starting with the black jacket for a little bit of symbolism, I think he's going to have NC State in black hat territory real quick.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I love that black hat analogy there, because you're absolutely right. He is coming to ruffle the feathers of Tobacco Road. He's coming to get in the kitchen of Hubert Davis. He's going to challenge John Shire for 5-star recruits. He is. He's coming to change the trajectory of Tobacco Road and subsequently the ACC and beyond. He is coming to essentially change college basketball. And again, Andrew Slater's not official, but that is the word on the street that he will be the GM. Those two together, imagine 2001 Kobe and Shaq. That's a special connection. They will change the landscape of college basketball and its recruiting, how NIL is used, the fan support, and how at some points you can even weaponize that They are going to push the limits of everything you know so far about this new landscape of college athletics. He is going to do it at NC State, and he will ride or die for us. I promise you. What you are about to hear on Tuesday, hopefully you're hearing this before you hear that, you are going to be sold like you have never been sold before, and not like a snake oil car salesman type sold. Again, you're going to want to run through a brick wall or 2 or 7. I've already tried to do it. I hurt my shoulder. I'm too excited about what he is bringing to this program. I've said it already, and I'll say it again here on Tuesday. We have waited for this type of coach for 40 plus years. We have not had a stone cold killer like Will Wade. He is cutthroat. He will get what he wants. And if you are in his way, he is going to steamroll you. No hesitation. I will already die for Will Wade. He hasn't even come close to coaching a preseason game in the red and white. Okay. And I want to further one of Kenton's other points here. Even if this whole experiment, when he actually does get to coaching, doesn't go well, I can live with that because NC State went out and hired a killer. They hired a great white shark, and you are going to feel that from the moment he steps to this podium on Tuesday. It's all going to come together very quickly, and you're going to see NC State linked to some of the top names in recruiting in the country. You're going to see 5-star kids with NC State finally in their edit. You're going to see that Wolf in their top 4 edit, their top 3 edit, their final selection edit. You're going to start to see NC State creep into the top 25 recruiting classes. We haven't had that in quite some time. It's going to be a regular occurrence with Will Wade. He's going to have us competing for ACC both regular season titles and the conference tournament titles. He's going to have us in that conversation, and not just a one-off, not just, every 3 years or every so often, every year. He's coming to win today. If we had a game by the end of the week, a preseason game, he would be ready for it. That's who you're getting as your head coach. Tell me I'm wrong after you listen to this press conference on Tuesday. Come back here and tell me that you're not sold on this guy. He will be special.
You hear that rumbling in the earth? Things feel a little unsettled. That's a sleeping giant waking up.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
That's a sleeping giant waking up. It's measuring on the Richter scale because the sleeping giant is about to come alive. And oh boy, I'm excited for it.
If you also listen really carefully, you can hear the shuffling of the feet. Oh, yeah, that's them over in Dirty Footland. Them folks is nervous. They're real nervous.
Yeah. Everywhere in the ACC and even in the country, you see guys, look at his pass. Oh, look at what he did in the past. I beg your pardon. Can y'all boys read over there? 20 years of academic fraud? And you want to talk to me about a guy? You're scared. You're fearful. It's all right. You're going through the different stages of acceptance, or you're going through the different stages of grief. It's okay. I would advise you skip through it. Just go to the end and accept what's about to happen here in Raleigh.
Watch how the other fan bases react to some of the early stuff that comes out of Raleigh with Will Wade. Just watch. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. So enjoy today. Enjoy Tuesday. Enjoy this press conference. I guarantee you he's going to give us a lot to talk about on Wednesday's show. So enjoy the press conference. This is a great day to be a fan of NC State basketball. Introductory press conference for head coach Will Wade, 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Coming up next, getting into a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of something. More on this after a quick word from our sponsors. Our second Tuesday sponsor is Supply House. Get the supplies that you need from the site made for the skilled trades. That's Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the most reliable way to order your products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from the top 400-plus brands, you'll always find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always be able to talk to a real person, not a robot. And for trade pros looking for that extra edge, their free TradeMaster program offers exclusive perks like their dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on each and every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the TradeMaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM, capital T, capital M, and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with only a few clicks. Plus, you can use the promo code SH5 for 5% off of your first order, only on supplyhouse.com. Last couple of minutes of our Tuesday show. Now time for a whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something. 3 topics. We'll tell you exactly where we stand on them. First 2, women's basketball related. Number 1, Wes Moore. This is a real sicko stat for all of y'all. Wes Moore in his last 200 games at NC State, 163-37. That is an 82% win percentage. Whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
Whole lot of something. This is dominance. This is the level. This is the standard. This is what I want for all of our teams. This is what I want, the expectation. I want teams to feel bad coming around you. And certain teams do,
Oh, yeah.
Certain teams, they get to shaking in their boots, and their head coach has always got to say something about their gym is small. They're just mean. They're mean to us. They're mean to each other. Wolfpack Nation's just mean. You know why teams who make the Sweet 16 call other teams mean? Because they know. They know. It gets aggressive. It hit different when you come into Reynolds. And, what he has done not only in Reynolds, but on the road, neutral site, it don't matter. Wes Moore is like, you want to play me in Raleigh, you want to play me on the moon, you want to play me in, it don't matter. Line it up. You get your best 13, I get my best 13. Let's see how it goes. Great stat. Absolutely whole lot of something.
Kenton already said it. This is dominance. And I should note, too, this is not like a cupcake schedule either. He's had teams like UConn come to Reynolds Coliseum. He's had South Carolina come, Notre Dame come. These are some of the top names in the country coming to Raleigh, and Wes Moore is still standing on business. An 82% win percentage in your last 200 games is absurd. That is absurdity. And to see this program really blossom here in the last, let's say, 5 to 6 years under Wes Moore, it's remarkable. He's creating a dynasty right in front of your eyes. He's won the ACC tournament 3 times in a row, been in the final 2 additional times, went to the Final Four last year. This team this season is on their way to the Sweet 16 beginning on Friday. They're a wagon. They've been a wagon for quite some time, and they're only leveling up each and every year just a little bit more. And so Wes Moore deserves every bit of praise we can possibly give him. He has been one of, if not the most consistent coach at NC State, seemingly across all sports. Every year, you can expect this team to knock off some of the pantheon of college basketball teams every year, whether that's UConn, South Carolina, fill in the blank. You expect NC State to not only compete with them, but beat them as well. That's a special time. So don't take for granted what you're witnessing with Wes Moore and this women's basketball program. We're so very proud, and there's still a whole lot more left to accomplish. So only good things ahead for Wes Moore. Second one here, also kind of a sicko stat. Isaiah James, Madison Hayes, and Sanaya Rivers, in their 3 years playing together, 47-4 in Reynolds Coliseum together. Whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
Whole lot of something. And this is why I say I almost got entailed by Pac Parody when he said that Will Wade was pushing to get NC State men's team back there, because there is a definitive advantage in playing in the old barn. It is like nothing you have ever heard in terms of women's basketball when those fans get going. Man, I tell you what, and even beyond that, even beyond the home court advantage aspect, you have to have elite players. You have to have elite schemes. You have to be elite as a whole to go 47-4 at home over a 3-year period when you're playing against what can be no worse. I would say top to bottom, best conference in America in terms of women's basketball, no worse than second best basketball conference in all of women's basketball. And you're going to tell me that you are 47-4 at home over a 3-year span? Man, they're cooking. They're cooking with grease. Whole lot of something.
Yeah, whole lot of something, and it's definitely why it was so special to see some of the emotion from, Isaiah James specifically coming off the court and it just hitting her all at once, that all the sweat and blood and tears that she's poured into this program the last 3 years, and to watch some of the fruition for all, the fruits of her labor, getting to the Final Four last year, leading another team the very next year into the Sweet 16 and beyond. She has been an all-time program player, and you could say the exact same about Madison Hayes and Sanaya Rivers as well. And whether they were transfers into the program or homegrown, started as freshmen, they have left their mark on this program. They'll forever be remembered for their time at NC State. The road gets tougher ahead, but that is when these three players specifically, that's when they play their best basketball. So could not be more proud of what they have accomplished together as a trio. Last one here, NC State baseball continues to roll. They have now won 14 of their last 16. They are 2-0 in ACC series, 4-2 overall in ACC play. This past weekend, they beat Pittsburgh on the road, 2 games out of 3. Kenton, whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
Whole lot of something. Remember when I said earlier this season, hey, the sample size was just too small. It was just too small to judge. We are looking at 16 games. You are looking at, again, nearly a third of your schedule unscathed. You are looking at this where you're not only talking about winning these series, but we've also got the midweek monkey off our back that was killing us last year. I mean, we couldn't even beat Rhode Island Little League team in a midweek last year. No, seriously, I got a 13-year-old that's about 5'9". Your kid's throwing flames. But in all seriousness, this is a situation where this team is exercising old demons and they're looking sharp. I think one of the greatest characteristics of a team is just take care of business and do what you're supposed to do. There are going to be harder parts of the schedule coming up. No doubt about it. No, but I'm not going to tell you, oh, this here is the thick of it. This is the meat and potatoes of your schedule. No, it's not. But the ability to take bad teams or lesser teams, quote unquote, out to the woodshed is a signature of really good teams. Whole lot of something.
I think the best part about this is I still don't believe they played their best brand of baseball yet. I think they're still leaving a lot on the table, but still finding a lot of success in doing so. This past weekend at Pitt, obviously won the first 2 out of 3 games. The offense even had some late game heroics to give them the win in both of those. I thought they left too many empty at-bats on the table on Sunday. I really felt like they should have swept all 3 from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not that great. Would have loved to see a sweep, but, I mean, you win the series on the road. Sometimes you can't really ask for much more than that, but they're getting the job done. I think the starting pitching is still kind of coming around. Romcom Dom, first of all, round of applause. Romcom Dom is on a heater like we have never even dreamed that he could reach.
Sizzling. He's sizzling, ladies and gentlemen.
We're talking freshman year Dom and then some. He just had 13 strikeouts, a new career high against Pittsburgh last Friday. He is on a tear. And if he continues to give you those type of performances every Friday night, raises the ceiling of this team here in 2025. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I still think they can reach another level, both offensively, sometimes defensively, and especially on the mound and getting into the back end of the bullpen. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. They have Duke coming up on the road this weekend. That'll be a good litmus test because Duke's been kind of struggling. So if you can take that series on the road too, you're going to continue to cook here as you get into the later months of the season. So that'll do it for us here on Tuesday. Thank you all so much for joining us. Also, we hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so very much for all the support that you've shown us in the last 2 years of us doing this show together. It's been unbelievable to watch the best fan base in the country, support us each and every day. And it's quite easy when we have so much to celebrate, especially in times like these. Will Wade's our head coach. Over the moon. Couldn't be happier. And we're so happy that we get to celebrate this alongside of y'all. So thank you all so much for the support. We're going to continue to grow this thing. No time for slowing down now. We're building this thing up to the moon. Drop your comments in the comment box. Tell us your thoughts on the women's basketball win in the round of 32. Tell us your thoughts about the Will Wade press conference, either before you watch or after you watch on Tuesday. Give us your thoughts both ways. Anything else you have on your mind, drop that in the box as well. Mash that subscribe button. We're now on the climb to 4,000 subscribers. Let's see how quickly we can hit that. With the support of all of y'all, I don't think anything is off the table. We'll see y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. And until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.